I want to make a promise to you, the reader. And I don't know if I can fulfill it tomorrow, or even the day after that. But I put the bastards of this world on notice that I do not have their best interests at heart. I will try and speak for my reader. That is my promise. And it will be a voice made of ink and rage. When you spend time with Hunter, which I did quite a lot, you know, over the years, even to the point of where we were locked in a hotel room together for 5 days when his back went out. And it was just me and him in a hotel room with all those, you know, the room service trays piled up to the sky, you know, and grapefruits and knives and club sandwiches and you know, it was all real. You know, everything that he wrote about, though it seems like this kind of grandiose and insane sort of circumstance, it was all real.
I don't know. That was one of the things about him, is that he was the fulcrum of a culture in the '60s that was all about having an original voice and understanding different realities.
I would describe it as complete abandon, a lifestyle choice that only the brave. You know, I always looked at Hunter. I don't know Hunter, and I'm not, you know, an aficionado of Hunter, but it seemed to me like the guy just lived his life the way he wanted to live it.
I lived moments of those books with him for a number of years, you know. And it was just, I don't know what it was, if it was something that happened to him, or, you know, because you were with him, things became more vivid and more absurd, more perverse, and, you know, you just sort of clicked into that sort of way of thinking. I don't know.
I think that's what's special about the Rum Diary, is it's Hunter S. Thompson pre-Gonzo. It's the journey that made him Gonzo later. It's the start of that path. He wrote it at a time where he'd yet to go down that path, and he'd yet to really develop Gonzo.
But it was, I'll tell you, I never had 1 second of boredom with Hunter. Never.
What are you doing, Saul?
I suddenly realized how much I like you. What do you mean, what am I doing? Is something wrong with the axle? Oh my God, it's the cop we set on fire.
Try and look normal.
I think what's important to remember is that Johnny Depp's character represents one end of the spectrum, and Sanderson, played by Aaron Eckhart, represents the opposite end of that spectrum. And the two are bookends to a journey, and they are the antithesis of one another in many ways. What one values in life is a complete opposite of what the other learns to value in his life and strive for, what one desires to possess.
He's a visionary. I mean, if you're saying how does he think about himself, I mean, he sees things that aren't there, and it's his job to manifest those. And anything that gets in his way is a distraction, and he has to make his way around it, and no matter what. And in the case of Paul, he, you know, employs Paul or brings him into his life because he needs something from him in order to create that greater picture. And so, if you asked Sanderson, he would say he's just he's a visionary.
It was kind of like, you know, it wasn't necessarily portraying the character as much as it was just vomiting him up, really. And like one of the things that Bruce had said was, I think he said this, maybe I dreamt it, or maybe I said, I don't know, is that, you know, you wanted to smell the character more than anything from the audience, you know, and it was sort of like the sum of all the parts, where it's the way he looked and the voice and the way he carried himself.
Kemp had to be, you know, the sort of I wouldn't say the tame version of Hunter, but the Hunter before he'd found his voice, before he had a real solid outlet for his rage, you know, and for his passions.
Paul, I wanted to talk because I'm looking for someone who can assimilate contradictory points of view and make them into one voice. You're a novelist, right?
Who told you that?
Oh, please. Newspapers are full of gossip. I'm looking for someone who's good with words. Next day you turn up. And because I believe in good luck, I thought maybe you were it. What I need is someone with the right kind of eyes.
Looking at what?
Looking at that. An ocean of money.
I live with him every day still, you know. I mean, though he left the earth in 2005, I still live with him every day. I mean, I still have him in my head constantly, you know. My head hits the pillow, he's there, you know. So as an actor, going in and approaching, you know, the character of Hunter again, for me, it was such a sort of welcome home, because there's license to sort of get closer to him and well, be him for a certain period of time, and I find great comfort in that.
You see, the problem with this newspaper, Mr. Kemp, is that I am among many who don't enjoy reading it. We have an ailing circulation, and I just have to look around this building to understand why. Lack of commitment and too much self-indulgence. So what I'm looking for is some enthusiasm, some energy, some fresh blood. And the question that I'm asking myself is how much alcohol is usual in yours?
My fresh blood?
How much do you drink?
I suppose at the upper end of social.